I say we just play that for an hour and release it
You
as an
know,
episode.
I mean, look, I love talking hockey with you, but I'd be lying if I didn't say one of the things I look forward to is hearing Al Melgard.
I get it. I mean, the worst thing that happened is when he stops playing and we start talking, the ratings
Yeah.
take a big dive. Um, that's right. It's your dad's favorite hockey podcast or your creepy uncle's favorite hockey podcast, which whatever. For some of you that might be the same person. It's the
Yeah.
second balcony. It's Greg. It's Frank. We're back on a Monday evening. Happy Anton Frondell Eve, maybe. I don't know. We'll find
Yeah,
out in the morning.
maybe. And still no word on Boisvert and his visa, right?
No. Yesterday, Sunday pre-game chat with Jeff Blashill, he basically said, "Hey, anybody got a connection at the immigration office that could help us out?" Listen,
Lost your audio. While Greg is sorting out his audio, I'd like to say that I'm really looking forward to some chaos happening here. Oh, I think I just got you back.
there we go. All right, I don't
I
know
was
why
about to
that
say, I really
happens.
want to see some chaos. I want to see Boisvert get deported for his student visa expiring. I want all of it.
Well, he's getting a very good life lesson to learn early on in his U.S. Uh, adventures. Is that when you're at the mercy of the U.S. federal government, especially this current incarnation of the U.S. federal government, nothing is going to go smoothly, on time, or in your favor.
Yep.
So, welcome to America, kid.
Yeah,
Go
start
punch
working on
somebody.
your visa for next season as soon as you get the one for this season.
Thankfully, Anton Frondell, as we speculated last week, took care of all this nonsense as soon as he signed his contract. So he's set to go. So we'll find out Tuesday morning. Blackhawks, Islanders. If either of those guys, one of them, both of them, will be in the lineup. It'll be nice. It'll be fun and exciting once they're both playing. Um, I mean, the Blackhawks need a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and hope.
and Mangiapane's not doing it for you, huh?
Well, he's hurt too, so
Yeah.
that boost lasted about 2 games. I don't mind
Yeah.
Mangiapane. Like he's fine. If he's your 12th forward, you're fine. Um, you know,
No, that's
I
not where the issue lies.
right.
Jeff,
The
my
issue,
dude, if
yeah,
you're listening, get over your infatuation with Burakovsky. He's not good.
no, he's not. Uh,
Like, this is the production you've gotten out of him on Bedard's wing all year. I'm happy that Nick Lardis got put on the second line with Frank Nazar. He belongs on a scoring line. The guy's a trigger man. The guy scored 70. Look, I'm not saying 71 goals in the OHL is going to translate to him being a premier goal scorer in the NHL, but Burakovsky never. I don't even think he scored 71 when he was a kid playing against other kids. This guy is a trigger man and he loves to shoot the puck. Put him on. I would love to see for the rest of the season. Frondell is going to get put on Connor Bedard's left wing, put Lardis on his right wing, let those three go. When Lardis first got to Rockford, everybody talked about his chemistry with Oliver Moore. They brought him to Chicago. They put him on Moore's wing because they had this chemistry. It's like, you know what? Maybe this guy is, gets chemistry with anyone who gives him the puck. Let him shoot the puck. Chemistry will sort itself out. Let him shoot the puck. We
I don't disagree with that. But guess what?
I know you and I don't. Danny Wirtz isn't cutting us checks to run the team.
I listen. The Andre Burakovsky stuff is uh it's infuriating at this point. Um,
And
you
I
know,
get look, I get that he came in with a pedigree. He started the season well, but like one of Jeff Blashill's things is he will talk about having to earn something. Dude, you got the third worst record in the NHL. Nobody's earned shit. Put the guys in the roles where they can succeed. Take
Yeah.
the guys that you want to, a guy like Lardis is a perfect example. You got to give him some burn in the top six to see if he's a top six guy. Burakovsky is not a top six guy. If he's not a top six guy on a good team, he's not even a top six guy on the third worst team in the NHL. He's not a top six guy. It's not what he is.
No, but listen, Jeff Blashill's done a lot of really good things this year. I think he's a good coach. I think he's the right fit for this team at this point. But this Burakovsky stuff is overshadowing all the positive stuff that he's done this year. The Lardis stuff was a little nonsensical, but at least he's got him playing with Nazar and Bertuzzi, and that led to a goal last night. Not Nick Lardis's fanciest goal of the season, but that's a play that doesn't get made on the fourth line.
No,
Dominic Toninato is not making that play rushing to the net to where the defender's even there to knock it in his own net. But Burakovsky and Blashill even last night was still defending him. Well, he's playing with a lot of confidence right here, here, pal. And for those of you listening to the audio only, I just did the wanking motion into the camera. I don't care how confident he is. He is not producing. He has 2 goals in the last 34 games and 1 assist in the last 26 games playing with Connor fucking Bedard. Philip Kurashev had 54 points playing with Connor Bedard. Ryan Donato scored 31 goals last season, spending a lot of time with Connor Bedard. Andre Burakovsky, your $5.5 million 2-time Stanley Cup winning winger, has 2 goals in 34 games and 1 assist in the last 26. I'm pretty sure I could get 1 assist in 26 games playing with Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
And maybe even 1 goal just by putting my fat ass in front of the net and letting one of his shots hit off my ass.
Hey, Andrew Shaw made a lot of money doing that.
Artem Anisimov had a 15-year career letting pucks hit him in the ass and go in the net. That was his whole career here in Chicago. Go to the front of the net, let Artemi Panarin's shot hit him in the butt, get 20 goals.
Yep.
It's not glamorous, but it gets you paid.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're doing anymore. And the way he talked yesterday was, Ryan Green is eventually going to be a third-line center, so I'm going to play him at third-line center, which means it will be Frondell, Bedard, and Burakovsky. Still not going to take him off the wing. I just don't get it. It's not like it's one thing. He's a turnover machine. I counted last night. He had 3 offensive turnovers in the first period last night. What's the point of playing with your team's best player if you're constantly
coughing up the puck?
Yeah, you're losing shifts with your best player in the offensive zone because this guy can't keep the puck. And then we saw in overtime, Philip Forsberg, looked like Big Van Vader in his WCW prime out there. The way he ran over Burakovsky behind the net, as soft can be on the puck, which then put Lardis and Levshinov, 2 inexperienced guys, in bad situations, and they both made the wrong play. But that's going to happen when you have 2 kids that are like, well, I thought the veteran was supposed to do his job.
Yep.
Enough is enough. Like, it's just, I don't care how freaking confident he is. 2 goals in the last 34 games. Take your confidence and shove it.
And by the way, make sure and hit the subscribe button.
Yes. There you go.
I was saying, we hit the ground running tonight.
Hey,
this is what Andre Burakovsky does to us, folks.
I'm cranky. It's later than we usually record. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'm cranky, and you're gonna get off my lawn, Greg, tonight.
And make sure to read Greg on Blackhawk Up. Give him those clicks.
Yes, and those of you who are part of our Second Balcony Facebook group, thank you. You can join the conversation over there. Make sure you're clicking the links that I post over there. Don't just comment on them. I don't get paid that way. I get paid when you click and read them. So help me keep my lights on and feed my dogs. If you're not going to do it for me, do it for the dogs.
That's
click
right.
those articles. I wrote about Ryan Green and I wrote Ryan Andre Burakovsky today. You can check that out. There's also a newsletter that you can sign up for. That twice a week you'll get even more content right to your inbox. I have a little something about Nick Lardis going out in the newsletter tomorrow. So that logic with Green is, well, he's projected to be a third line center on this team when everybody's here, which I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to play him there now.
Yeah, that makes
okay.
No
well, where was that logic with Nick Lardis? Nick Lardis is projected to be a top 6 goal scorer. So why did he spend 6 games playing with Sam F. Lafferty? Like, the logic makes perfect sense, but why don't you use that same logic for everybody else? And I don't care if Ryan Green is going to be the long-term third line center. Now is not the time to play him there because he has been Connor Bedard's best winger all season long.
Yep.
He's producing. Andre Burakovsky's not. So then if you don't put Lardis up there, then keep Green there and put Frondell and Green with Bedard. And have Andre Burakovsky sit in between me and Jay in the press box eating popcorn, as far as I'm concerned.
You'll even buy him some M&Ms.
Yeah, I'll get him before Mark
What did they have in the press box anyway?
Popcorn. Well, you get to popcorn. They usually have a soup and a couple of sandwiches, usually like some sort of wrap and then a sandwich, and then you'll have a salad option, and then a fruit. Usually there's a fruit cup available, and some
Brent
sort of
Seabrook fruit and crap.
Yeah, sometimes then there's another kind of snack. Sometimes it's like a veggie and dip, or they'll do like pretzels and cheese, or my favorite is when they do the apples with the peanut butter yogurt dip is really good. And then they have some, cookies and usually gummy bears and M&Ms, stuff like that. Not a bad spread.
Okay.
And all the Pepsi products one can drink.
Oh yeah, I forgot they went to Pepsi.
Yeah, you don't have to sneak them in and get in trouble anymore. See, I listen to your stories.
Someone has to.
I don't have a choice. You're right in my ears.
Yeah. So, okay, we should probably bring it down a little bit now, and give our thoughts to everyone in the Wild organization. Jessie Pierce did a great job writing for the Wild for NHL.com, and she passed away this weekend in a house fire, and her and her kids, right? And
yeah, all 3 of her kids, young children.
Yeah.
Just absolutely brutal.
Yeah. And it's a shame. I mean, there's like, you see people write, and some people will have their opinions of different writers and things like that, but you have to understand that, we're all people too. And, things like this happen. It's terrible.
Yeah, I never got to get to know Jessie personally, but there were quite a few people yesterday in the press box. Tracy Meyer was a colleague with her at NHL.com, and Bruce Miles. So they were obviously shooken up yesterday. Just such a horrible story. And you can always tell, as we said about Troy Murray a couple weeks ago, you could always tell the quality of the person by what's said about them after they're gone. And everybody's said great things about her, just her passion for the game and her job and her family. I know she was the co-host of the Bar Down Beauties podcast, which I had checked out a few times in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a GoFundMe out there. I know a lot of the national writers have retweeted it and posted the link because her husband somehow has to figure out a way to pick up the pieces.
I know.
You imagine losing your wife and your 3 young children and your house all in one blink of an eye. You just can't even imagine the state of mind he's in. So
Yeah.
I donated to that GoFundMe. I recommend everybody else check it out and throw a couple bucks that way just to help out a fellow human being who is going through literally the worst thing imaginable. I mean, I wouldn't wish this kind of scenario on my worst enemies. So definitely thinking of the Pierce family and all their friends and colleagues as well. And even the Minnesota Wild today spoke highly of her. So, you know, I know if the Blackhawks room wouldn't miss me if I took a couple weeks off, let alone say nice things about me when I'm gone. So it just goes to show the type of person that Jesse was. So we're definitely thinking of everybody up there.
Yeah, and as long as we're going around the league, and we should probably talk a little bit about the fun and games in the province of Alberta, particularly the city of Edmonton.
Yeah, that is.
Oh man, the Oilers a dumpster fire right now. This is exactly when you want your team to turn into a dumpster fire.
I blame Colton Dock. They were fine until he got there.
Oh yeah. Actually, I think Andre Burakovsky was the glue holding.
He was the glue. Together. Yeah. He held them together from the press box. Nobody knew.
He was a character guy.
Yeah, it's safe to say that it's Chris Knobloch, right? I always want to call him Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck Knobloch played for the Yankees.
Yeah, he was the guy that literally forgot how to throw to first base after being in the league for 15 years, wasn't he?
No, that was Steve Sachs, I thought.
No, I thought Knobloch had that problem towards the end too, where he was overthrowing the bat.
Steve Sachs, I thought his nickname was R2E4 at one point.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He had that rather unfortunate run-in with the law. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was on the Simpsons episode. But yeah. Anyway, Edmonton, frustration boiling over there for the one guy you have to keep happy. I mean, Leon Draisaitl's out for the rest of the regular season. He's back home in Germany, going to that fancy doctor Austin Matthews went to a couple years ago. How's that worked out for him? McDavid's frustrated. They can't win. Their new goalie is a pudwhack and terrible at hockey. While the goalie they traded away is going to go to the playoffs with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And there's Stan Bowman in the heart of it all. It's going to be an interesting summer up there because the clock is ticking. You've got Connor McDavid.
The Oilers got absolutely shithoused by the Lightning. And
then Connor McDavid publicly wished he was in the other locker room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Talk about writing roses at someone's feet.
Yeah. Writing love poetry to John Cooper through the media. And then he called the Pacific Division a pillow fight, which he's not wrong, but you're in third place in that pillow fight, Big Shoots. Yeah. What does that tell me about your team? That is a frustrated human being, and it's not going to end well for them this year. And there is no way Knobloch is back behind the bench next year.
I don't know that. I think Stan's done too.
I don't know because he didn't hire Knobloch. That wasn't his guy, and most GMs are allowed to hire one of their own coaches.
We'll see. I look. The longer Stan Bowman stays in Edmonton, the better it is for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Connor says, I've had enough of this. I mean, we'll see. He's got a lot of fixing to do. He's got to find a goalie. He's got to get some more defensemen. He's got to get a couple more forwards for some depth. He's got to get a head coach. But other than that, they're right there.
Yep. And they got plenty of money. They got plenty of cap space for all that, right?
Well, it is going up. And we all know as soon as Stan Bowman gets a little extra cap space, he is very fiscal and responsible with it. So it should be fine.
He's got that pudwhack goalie signed for another 2 years after this?
I think just one more year. But don't forget, he's got Trent Frederick locked up for 7 more years after this season.
Oh yeah,
Gotta sign your fourth line plug to a maximum 8-year deal. That's good GMing right there. Can't find a Trent Frederick anywhere else.
yeah.
Um, yeah, not great. Not great there. But I am enjoying watching it, that's for sure.
And but as long as we're going to talk about executives and bad executives, um, me and my old pal Joe Yurden, we text. I bother him almost as much as I bother you.
Oh, poor
And
guy.
oh yeah, well, it's worse for him. We're in the same time zone.
And the team he covers is interesting. So
Yeah. But what we talked about, what he brought up is, okay, the Sabres are on this unbelievable heater. So do you give Kevin Adams votes for executive of the year?
I mean, yeah, what's his face? Yarmo's going to come in and pull a Stan Bowman in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in and reap the rewards of what the guy ahead of me did. It's crazy that turnaround that they've gone from last in the East to just an absolute wagon right now.
I know. And, talking with Joe, it's great because, he's in the heart of it all. He covers the Sabres. So I said, man, it must be crazy in Buffalo right now. He says, well, the fans are kind of in this, we'll believe it, we'll wait till it happens. And it's still the Sabres. They've been snake bit by the Sabres enough because it's been so long since the Sabres have even made the playoffs. And now they're duking it out for the top seed in the East. And speaking of the Lightning, they had that Norris Division throwback game a couple weeks ago, and they've got another game. They got their last game of the season where they face each other coming up in a couple of weeks, and there's a pretty good chance that they're going to be dancing in the second round.
Yeah,
And it's fun to see these teams that are building up a good, healthy dislike for each other.
it's very easy to dislike those Tampa teams, though. They don't seem to get along with anybody.
No. But I remember when the Hawks were first putting their cup run together, and I went to a Blackhawks convention. It might have been like the second one they ever had, and one of the forums. They had a bunch of the Blackhawks up there, and they kept talking about the hit Seabrook put on Dan Clary in the Winter Classic, and they were asking, okay, which Red Wing would you just love to drill? And they're all kind of looking at each other like, oh, I don't really have any issues with anybody on the Red Wings. And then somebody else says, who in the NHL would you just love to drill it? Every single guy up at the table had a different Canuck. It's like that's it. You have your fan rivalry, and then you have the team that the guys in the room don't like.
Yeah.
And that Hawks team, man, they just did not like the Vancouver Canucks. And you saw it for years the way Taves and Ryan Kessler used to go at it. And the Hawks aren't in a position yet where they're going to have that with anybody, really.
No, they're starting to build that a little bit with Utah. Utah's kind of on the same trajectory, maybe a year or two ahead of the Hawks, but they got a lot of young players there too. And
yeah,
I could see those two teams, eventually playing each other in a playoff series, and that will definitely get things going.
Oh yeah.
But
well,
yeah,
that's what you need. You need to have two teams that are playing for something.
Yeah.
And right now, the Hawks, what are the Hawks playing for? They're playing for wherever they're going to land in the lottery.
Yep. But yeah, Buffalo, I watched a little bit last night after got home from the Hawks game, and they were playing Anaheim, another up and coming team, and it was a crazy game. It was 4-2 Ducks going into the third period, and Buffalo scored on their first two shots of the third period, took a 5-4 lead, and then Anaheim tied it with like under a minute to go and won it in overtime. But Buffalo has a 15-game road point streak. They haven't lost in regulation on the road since January.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I really am looking forward to the NHL pulling out their hair when it's a Buffalo Sabres Columbus Blue Jackets Eastern Conference final. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah,
because the Blue Jackets had their 12 game point streak snapped yesterday to the New York Islanders, who the Blackhawks will play tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they're in a playoff spot right now. Another team that was left for dead. They switched head coaches. They bring in Rick Bowness to get the bonus bump. And now they're a playoff team. And yesterday was their first regulation loss since the first game after the Olympic break.
Yeah. And the other interesting thing with the Islanders getting hot is now Detroit is on the outside looking in. And
boy, that's too bad.
Well, but all these, every time Patrick Kane's a free agent, there's always some rumor floating around about Buffalo. And it's like, why would Kane go to Buffalo? Kane doesn't really need to go to Buffalo. He's not going to go there play. He wants to chase a cup. He doesn't want to play for a shitty team. Guess what? This summer he might take a look at Buffalo and say, might be cool to take a playoff run at home.
Yeah. They got a better shot at a Stanley Cup than the Detroit Red Wings do right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man, if the Red Wings missed the playoffs, that would be it'd be hilarious. I would enjoy the absolute crap out of that. And they've been going through this rebuild a long time, but they're are they really rebuilding though anymore? They don't have any young guys.
No.
I mean, Lucas Raymond is a veteran now, and Mo Sider's a veteran now. Dylan Larkin is way beyond being a veteran. He's been there forever. Yeah. They just sent down their Axel, their other young defenseman. They still got Evanson, I guess, who's a young guy. But they sent down their other Pandine Seliga went down today because he's been a healthy scratch since they acquired Justin Falk. They're not a young team.
No.
And they haven't been for a long time. And
then you look at Chicago, and I mean, Chicago's a young team now, and they're going to be younger.
Yeah.
They're going to be a younger team next year because, I mean, Boisvert is going to be a hog. Will be cranking next year for sure. But I don't think Frondell will ever set foot in Rockford.
Hope not.
And
Kantarov either.
Yeah, I think they're both NHLers, and I'm really hoping that's Bedard's line next year.
I don't know if we'll see both of them. Kantarov to me seems like he'd be a really good fit with Nazar and even Bertuzzi. I mean, it's an undersized line, but they'd be effective. But Blashill will have some options to play around with, and mix and match. Kantarov, Frondell, Bedard, I'm fine with that. But you got Lardis you could throw up there.
Yeah.
Do they try and do something this summer? Do they?
I know we talked about Matthew Nice last week, and the more I think about them, I'm like, why in the world would Toronto trade that guy? Look,
but it's also
if they
Toronto.
Want to trade him, go get him.
Right. Because a nice Frondell Bedard line would be, be a tough line to play against, and Bedard would have all the space in the world playing with those two guys.
Yeah, out there with two Buffaloes.
Yeah, that would be fun. I don't get why the Maple Leafs want to trade him. If you're going to retool and not rebuild, why get rid of your best young player?
Yeah.
They might be looking to trade Austin Matthews this summer, but his trade value is probably the lowest it's ever been. Coming off a serious injury and back-to-back kind of down years, he hasn't been the same type of player that he's been known for. So, but never underestimate the stupidity of a Toronto Maple Leaf general manager. So
that is true. That is true, especially
So
because next season they're going to be celebrating 60 years.
yeah, and it's gonna not, it's gonna jump to 61 rather
Yeah.
quickly because that's a team that is not going anywhere fast.
Nope.
That window slammed shut. They ran Mitch Marner out of town. That was supposed to solve all the problems. Let's trade one of the best two-way forwards in the league. Let's get this bum out of town and let's replace him with 3 third liners that we've trade at by the end of their first year. Like
Yep.
it's
Yeah, I mean the thing that the Hawks have is they've got so much. I mean, Kyle Davidson has so much trade capital that if a guy like Matthew Nyes is out there, Davidson can make an offer that just no team in the league can match.
he can do that pretty much for any player he wants.
Yeah, but I mean, Nyes is of the guys that you've heard their names getting bounced around as possible trade candidates. He's the guy. He'll be 24 at the start of next season, right? And he gives them size, he gives them skill, all the things they don't currently have. I mean, granted, Frondell seems like he could be that sort of a guy. And yeah, have Bedard center of those two guys. It'll be Connor Bedard running a 2 tight end offense.
It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Be a lot better than watching, him with Andre Burakovsky. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean,
listen,
granted,
go ahead.
Nobody's got to take Burakovsky, but that's fine. You only got one more year of him anyway. I mean, if you
buy him out,
you could do that. They certainly have the cap room for it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It has no. It's not going to prevent them from doing anything.
No. But he's got a first rounder and 4 seconds this year. He's got looking like 3 first rounders next year. I mean, right now, the Panthers are sitting in the 10 spot. That varies day to day.
2 more of their regular defensemen are out for the year. They lost. Nikola is out. So yeah, they're
So chances are better than average that pick is rolling over to next year. But still, 3 first rounders for next year. If Matthew Nyes is available, they can put together draft picks. They can say, okay, and what do you want? Do you want Mark Van Acker? You can have him. You could, there'll be a long list of guys. They'll basically send the link to the elite prospects page and say, okay,
yeah, I mean, it's going to cost.
Here are the 3 guys you can't have. You can have anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost you somebody you really like. Is it Nick Lardis, Kevin Korchinski, and a first rounder? Done. Is it Oliver Moore, Kevin Korchinski, and a first rounder? Done. Like, okay, none of those things are making me go, no, I'm not making that trade. If they ask for Frank Nazar, you could be like, yeah, I don't know about that one. But I don't rule it out 100% either. If you're asking for Nazar, then I think the first rounder comes off the table.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't see
Bedard,
them.
The no touches. I mean, on the current Blackhawks roster, if you want to count Frondell on the current Blackhawks roster, then Frondell, Bedard, Levshinov, Rinzel. Those are your 4. That they're not going anywhere. Anybody else? I'm listening.
I don't know if Rinzel is untouchable, but he's definitely. I'm going to need something really good to include him. And
the way that Davidson's built this team, where he went blue line first, I don't see him trading any of the foundational blue liners.
Well, and he got Rinzel with the first round pick that he got from Toronto for Peter Mrazek too. You don't think he's going to want to give him right back? No. And Davidson's already had a deal in place for Nyes. That 2022 trade deadline, It's come out and from reputable sources that on both sides of the coin that the trade was Brendan Hagel and Marc-Andre Fleury to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Matthew Nyes before he was even a pro, Peter Mrazek, and that first round pick. And Kyle Dubas agreed to it, and Brendan Shanahan overruled it. So then Hagel got traded to Tampa for 2 first round picks and the two stiffs that helped us get Connor Bedard. And we still got
the picks were they Nazar and Moore?
It was Oliver Moore, and the other pick was eventually traded, which technically became Sacha Boisvert.
Oh, okay.
So it was Moore and Boisvert and Taylor Radish and Boris Kachuk. So yeah, right now Tampa's winning that trade by a lot and probably will win that trade when it's all said and done. But at the time, Oliver Moore and Sacha Boisvert become 2 core members, of a really good middle 6 on a contending team. You're okay with that.
Yeah.
But and then we still got that Peter Mrazek and first round pick from Toronto anyway, just to take Mrazek's contract.
And
that worked out pretty well because the Hawks got Sam Renzel and 2.5 quality seasons from Peter Mrazek when he was healthy.
Yeah.
So Davidson obviously likes Matthew Nyes. He wanted to part of this organization back in 2022 while he was still a Golden Gopher. So and he's been, but as you said, I find it hard to believe that that's the guy they're going to trade.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
They might think trading a Austin Matthews would be ridiculously unpopular in Toronto, or trading William Nylander would be ridiculously unpopular. But you let your fandom decide who got traded last summer and how'd that work out for you.
Yeah.
So maybe stop listening. As was it who had the famous quote? Stop listening to the fans, or you'll be sitting there with them.
That sounds like us.
Sounds like Scotty Bowman. I think it was Scotty Bowman. Yeah. Don't listen to the fans, or else you'll be sitting there with them before long. It's good. It's good advice.
Yes.
Except when it comes to benching Andre Burakovsky, listen to the fans in that case.
Yeah. Or just listen to grouches on a podcast.
Oh, there were 2 grouches on a podcast last night saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think we need to start a petition over at Chuggo that when I go to Chicago this summer, I have to do a guest spot on Chuggo.
All right, I could probably make that happen. Let you host the whole week.
Oh yeah, that would be the stuff.
Put you on the Cubs and the Hawks show.
Put me on sports I don't follow. Put me on the Bulls. Oh, tall guys.
I mean, listen, the Bulls are in such disarray. I don't think most of the Bulls fans knows who's on the team these days. So
I could probably come up with a week's worth of stories about John Mengelt diving into the scorer's table or something. But anyway, back to the Hawks. It's been good to see Artem Levshinov has been he's had a few really good games. And, like we talked about, Lardis playing on Nazar's wing was just so effective. Who knew that putting a goal scorer on a scoring line would work?
It's crazy, man. Putting good players with other good players gets you results. They should copyright that. That's pretty good stuff.
And again, like you said, there's been a lot of stuff Blashill's done that's been effective, and the other good thing about Buffalo's success is, Lindy Ruff is just having the time of his life, and he's happy coaching this team, which means we don't have to worry about them coming around to poach Michael Pekka.
Not yet. I mean, Though, if the Sabres go on a crazy run and they win the cup, there's Lindy Ruff is riding off into the sunset. What does he need to keep doing this shit for after if he wins the cup this year?
That's true.
What is he, about 86 years old?
Oh,
He's up there. I know that.
Well, I was going to say my Rangers hat's in the other room, but yeah, he was an 80s Ranger. But yeah, it's going to be fun to see.
Oh, he's only 66. That's not that old for a hockey coach. I don't know why I thought he was older.
He's 3 years older than me.
I apologize. I thought you were far older than you actually were, Lindy. My bad. You just only look like you're 86 years old.
Well, I remember I used to always joke around, especially when he was coaching the Stars. I used to joke around that he looked like Martin Mull.
A little bit. The hair, yeah.
The thinning blonde hair and the mustache. Yeah, he had the Martin Mull thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be fun to watch Frondell. It'll be nice once Boisvert's visas straightened away. And I'm sure a lot of it too is, with the government being shut down, there aren't people handling that stuff at the State Department or immigration, wherever the visas are done.
They're too busy working at the airports. They can't handle that stuff. I was going to start a rumor yesterday that the reason Boisvert's visa's taking so long is because the guy in the White House is mad at Danny Wirtz for hosting the DNC last year, because people would totally believe that. I don't think anybody would bat an eye and say that's gotta be BS. Nope, that sounds about right.
Nah.
Yeah, hopefully that gets cleared out. It'll be nice to see hopefully tomorrow in Long Island or wherever they play now. They don't even play in Long Island anymore. Were they in Belmont?
Yeah, they're like right on the line. It's Queens-ish.
Because aren't they by the track, right? Aren't they get some property? Yeah,
right off the Belt Parkway.
Yeah, so they beat the
Which
Bears
means nothing to any. There's like 3 listeners of our 16,666 listeners. Oh yeah, Belt Parkway. I know where that is. But, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they've got that there, because people will be able to be slotted where they should be. Frondell will be exciting to watch, and I think Boisvert, you put him down and let him play some minutes, maybe with Landon Slaggert, and I don't know, maybe Ryan Donato. That wouldn't be a terrible line.
Yeah.
You've got Tavo and Mikheyev on that third line. I don't know who I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting somebody. I apologize, whoever the heck I'm forgetting. I mean, Mangiapane's been out. Lafferty's not going to play.
Well, your first line is going to be Burakovsky, Bedard, Frondell. Second line is going to be Lardis, Nazar, Bertuzzi. Third line is going to be Green, Teravainen, Mikheyev.
Right.
And then your fourth line is Donato,
Boisvert, and
Slaggert.
And when Mangiapane comes back, you can figure out a way to put him in there too.
And
or not.
stick Boisvert at the dot once in a while. See if you can win some faceoffs.
Yeah, I mean, if you put him on the fourth line with Donato, those two guys can kind of rotate on who takes the draws and see how it goes. If you're hell bent on playing Ryan Green at third line center, I mean, that's a fairly balanced line. A fairly balanced, lineup from top to bottom, and the young defensive core is shaping up, but it's definitely got some work to do. But it seems that every game somebody steps up, and somebody you're like, "Ooh, boy," still wet behind the ears. Like it's, Artie Levshunov has really played well after the Olympic break. Credit to him putting in the work and doing what the coaching that's just the whole reset thing, and him working in Florida during the Olympic break and coming back and playing the best hockey of his young career just gives me a lot of optimism for what he's going to do this off season and how much better
Yeah.
he's going to look at the start of training camp.
And so much of his issues have been between his ears.
Yeah.
And if he can he's got to find that sweet spot between, basically knowing when to take calculating his risks, basically. So you don't just go out there and freewheel and take unnecessary chances, but you don't want to restrain him. You want him to be able to go out there and be a creative player, because that's where he shines.
Yeah, and that's kind of the balance they were looking for, because early in the year they were like, okay, we need you to be more offensive, and then they were like, oh, that's too much offense. We got to play some defense now too, and that's what led him to this little reset. The bottom line for Levshunov, he's effective when he's an instinctual hockey player, when he's not
Yeah.
thinking. The second you start thinking on the ice, it's over. The
Yep.
play's behind you. You're a half a step too slow because you're thinking about where to be, and by the time you figure it out, the play's already past you. Just play with your instincts, and we're seeing more of that. Rinzel's looked pretty confident since coming back. The guy that had the worst game out of the lot Sunday night. Granted, they had to play with 5 defensemen for most of the game because Matt Grzelcyk got hurt, and that's something that we might lead to a call up tomorrow morning. We can get into that, but it was Wyatt Kaiser had an uncharacteristically poor game last
I know,
night.
man. He's been like so steady all year.
Yeah, but again, still a really young defenseman.
Yeah.
That's gonna have those types of games. So Ethan Del Mastro.
I would say, is Del Mastro up with the team?
Yeah, he's been up.
Yeah.
So they have 6 defensemen. So I would imagine Kevin Korchinski made the trip with them today. They didn't officially make a recall.
Yeah, but they're not gonna want to be out on the East Coast, and
no, they're not taking a 4-game road trip without a 7th defenseman. So I would imagine they're going to call up Korchinski. I would die laughing if it's Derek Pouliot and not Kevin Korchinski, because that pretty much is like, okay. I mean, listen, the Ice Hogs are done. They're not making the playoffs. They're 6 points out with 10 games to go, which doesn't seem that bad, but in those 10 games, they don't play the Admirals, who they're trying to catch once. They've played their season series with them. If they had 3 or 4 games left with Milwaukee, like, oh, there's your game. I mean, the one thing they have going for them, 5 of their 10 final games are against the Iowa Wild. And the Iowa Wild are the only team in the Central Division with fewer points than the Ice Hogs. So maybe, but at this point, there's not much left down there to, even if they did make the playoffs, is it worth it? You're not going to send Lardis back.
No.
You're not going to send Rinzel back for the playoffs. So just get Korchinski up here and play him over the last 11 games, 12 games, whatever it is. You got to figure it out at some point.
And, you see, for those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, I give myself a witty little name each episode. My witty little name this time is Crankin' Chase Defoe, because Chase Defoe made his pro debut at Rockford after playing his full college career. He started off at Providence, but then he wound up at Alaska Fairbanks, was their captain, and he got 2 goals in his AHL debut.
Helped beat the hated Chicago Wolves of Rosemont on Saturday. Good for him.
But next year, he'll be with the Ice Hogs next year, and the Ice Hogs are actually going to start the year with a pretty interesting team, because you got to figure Boisvert is going to be there, Marek Van Acker. This is all barring trades, of course. Barring anything.
AJ Spellacy will be there.
I would not be surprised if Jack Prudhomme shows up there. I've heard Prudhomme and Pridham.
Yeah,
he's got to be 21 when the season starts.
So old. So, can't gotta get him here.
Well, my feeling is, a 21-year-old starting your college career, I think he'd probably be better off in the AHL.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. maybe you have whoever you pick in the first round this year. There too, depending on who that is, because allegedly, according to Elliot Friedman, the CHL and NHL have made an agreement that any 19-year-old player who is drafted in the first round is now eligible to play in the AHL.
Okay.
So depending on who you take, maybe that person will be on the Rockford Ice Hogs. Who knows? But you have options there. The Ice Hogs will have a pretty good young team. We thought they were going to be this fun young team this year, but Oliver Moore didn't stay down there very long. Nick Lardis has been back and forth. Rinzel and Korchinski, Del Mastro, they've all been up and down. Nolan Allen got traded. But I think next year the guys that are there are guys who are going to be there all year unless there's a ton of injuries.
Or trades.
Yeah, because I think next year's roster is pretty much set, and there's not an Oliver Moore or Frank Nazar going to be there next year. I think Sacha Boisvert probably should spend a full season in Rockford. Vanacker, no doubt, at least one full season in Rockford. And anybody of those other guys, Pridham for sure, those guys. So there's not a Nick Lardis who people are going to be dying to see get called up. The guys that actually need the full year of development down there. So
unless Van Acker just lights it up, which could happen.
But I still think he'll only find his way here if a couple guys get hurt. Oliver Moore gets hurt again, stuff like that. I think Kyle Davidson would love to keep him down in Rockford, get him a full year, and then see what happens. But you're right. Some of these guys might not be in training camp. We're penciling them in these positions. They could be used as trade bait. They could be Toronto Maple Leafs or Dallas Stars by this time. Training camp rolls.
One good thing is we haven't heard anything about, Václav Nestrasil's season ended, and we haven't heard anything about him going pro.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was ever in the cards.
Yeah, but he had such a good year as a coach.
Yeah, so did Sacha Boisvert last year, and that didn't work out for him very well.
Yeah, and Nestrasil definitely needs another year in an NCAA weight room.
Yeah, he needs to put on some weight. Great first freshman year, but definitely needs another year. The other guy that might be an Ice Hog next year, we might be able to crank him a little harder next year because he'll be closer to home. Maybe John Mustard. He's been 2 years now at Providence,
and he's in the. There's a few Hawks draft picks playing in the NCAA. You got Mustard, you got Guyan, Nestrasil. UMass didn't make it. UMass didn't make it.
UMass didn't make it. You've got some also on Providence as well.
Right.
That's about it, I think. There's not a lot. The Hawks didn't have a lot of college guys this year. They're almost all in the Hockey East, and only one of their teams made it out.
Yeah. Well,
but the playoffs are going to be fun to watch because you have a knacker. They're the best team in the OHL regular season. Pridham's Kurt Kitchener Rangers were the top seed in the other conference, I believe the Western Conference. And then AJ Spellecy's Windsor Spitfire won the other division. They're the second seed. So the top three teams in the OHL all have Blackhawk prospects on them. So that should be fun. And Nathan Beam and the Kamloops Blazers are the fifth seed in their conference in the Western Hockey League. So you got those playoffs coming up starting this weekend. Thursday and Friday, I think the OHL starts.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to plug Flow Sports. If you haven't subscribed to Flow Sports yet, they're going to have all the Western Conference, the Western Hockey League and the OHL. No, actually, I take that back. They have the OHL and the Q. I don't think they have the WHL.
They don't have the WHL.
Yeah, but they'll have all the OHL stuff. So if you want to watch Vanacker and Pridham and Spellecy play, I highly recommend the Flow Sports. Plus, you get all the Calder Cup playoffs. Um, if you get the bundle and pay for it a year up front, it goes from $30 a month to just a $150 for the whole year. You get all the hockey, but you get everything that's on there too: the hockey, the racing, the football, the wrestling, softball, whatever. Ton of college sports on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth every penny. I'm going to shamelessly plug them. Plus, give a shout out to my buddy Chris Peters, who does a fantastic job with Flow Sports. But that is
Chris is great.
The coverage of the Swedish Hockey League. They had the SHL all season too, and they didn't just simulcast the games in Swedish. They actually had their own announcers.
Yeah, they had American announcers, which was nice to see. It was good for a guy like me who doesn't understand a word of Swedish.
No, you're not alone in that category.
The only Swedish I know is from the commercial the Blackhawks used to have with Nicholas Hjalmarsson walking through IKEA. Aspelund. Did you ever hear his story about that commercial?
I think I did, and I've since forgotten it.
So he does the commercial, and they decide to put it up on the Jumbotron during a stoppage, which is fine, except they were playing Detroit. And so he's out there on the ice, and he's out there with Nicholas Lidstrom, who, he just idolized. Lidstrom's looking up at the Jumbotron, watches the commercial, looks at Hjalmarsson, and just shakes his head.
You weren't supposed to see that.
Go to YouTube and look up Nicholas Hjalmarsson IKEA. It's got to be like the best 30 seconds you'll spend all day.
I kind of wish they'd bring back Blackhawks TV. That was such a fun campaign. I know the Blackhawks social. It's a different landscape now with social media, and I know the Blackhawks social media crew does a really good job. Like, I know they do a lot of TikTok stuff that's really popular with the kids. It's not for you and me, but we're not the target demographic for that stuff. But the Blackhawk TV stuff back in the day was such a fun way to get those cup winning teams, their personalities out there, and get fans to like them before it all came together.
It was an excellent. I mean, they were on it from pretty much from the minute Rocky took over. I don't know who Rocky hired to do the marketing, but when they first put the games on TV and they ran a bunch of those ads where it was, hey, the Blackhawks are on TV. And so at one point they're all singing in the locker room and the TV's on and, oh, what do you want to watch? Oh, what do you want to watch? And then Taves is like, we could always watch my Colorado goal again.
But I remember they had those campaigns where they'd skate up to the microphone in the spotlight, and you'd have all the different players. Yeah, like it was just such good stuff. It just got the personalities out there, and I kind of wish they would do some stuff now with this team at this stage in their early stages. But again, they do that stuff on social media, but that's for one particular kind of target audience.
Yeah. The fans, it would be nice for the fans to get to know guys beyond just name and number.
Yeah. And this is the right time to do it. Early in their careers, pick your favorite player before the bandwagon fills up and, be the first person with your, Oliver Moore jersey in your neighborhood or whatever. And, because that was me. I never could get the jersey of the most popular guy. I always had to get the fifth most popular player just to be different.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I've got a couple of. I don't have a lot of hockey sweaters. I've got a red Taves. I've got the Wrigley Field Winter Classic Taves, a white Keith, and Mitchell and Ness Makita. The Mitchell and Ness Makita is what I usually go with.
Yeah, but when you pick the fifth most popular player on a team, you end up with a closet full of guys that no longer play for the Blackhawks, which has been my I'm the curse. If back in the day, if you saw me rocking your name and number, call your real estate agent because in 6 months you were headed someplace else.
Well, I don't know if
My
you
Christopher
remember
Steve jersey, my Nick Leddy jersey, my Brendan
the.
Saad, my Artemi Panarin, all
I don't know if you
collecting dust.
remember when the Blackhawks store on Michigan Avenue, back when it was Hawk Quarters, and it was like a much smaller store. And in the back of the store, they had like old gloves, old skates, old sticks, and they put back there. These are not for memorabilia purposes because
Right.
a lot of these would be like skates and gloves and I mean, the gloves you'd see the palms were almost completely worn out. But they also had a rack of sweaters, and it would be sweaters from guys who were either at prospect camp or
Mhm.
training camp, just guys now you'd never know them. And I think it was the year before Taves came, and somebody wore 19 in camp or something like that. So there was like a 19 somewhere between Kyle Calder and Jonathan Taves.
Is it Jeremy Morin?
No, Morin came after Taves. But yeah, because Morin came when because he got traded when they had to clean house after the Cup, and they sent a bunch of guys to the Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah, and then he came
And
back, and then they traded him,
came
and then he came
back,
back
and
again. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He
like
was the first.
he might have worn 19 in Rockford. He didn't wear
He
19 in
did, yeah, and that was before they. Now they make you wear whatever number you'd wear in Chicago is what you wear in Rockford. Before you
Yeah,
could change. That's why I have my Teuvo Teravainen reverse Winter Classic Ice Hogs jersey where he wore 21 down when he
right.
played in Rockford.
I remember when he wore 21. I was like,
Yeah,
you better pick another number, buddy.
yeah. Um,
um,
They still do the like equipment and old practice jersey stuff, except they do it now at the United Center in the atrium. They have like a garage sale. It's usually right in the beginning of the season, and they
yeah,
let season ticket holders come in and kind of pick at it.
yeah.
That's where you'll get a lot of those jerseys. Um,
By the way, do you know what number they're giving Frondell?
I have not seen that yet. I know Sacha Boisvert is going to be
He's
12.
12.
I have not seen Frondell. He can't technically be 14 because that's Kevin Korchinski, but maybe next year you can get that back. And so I don't know. Maybe he'll take 15 because he wore 15 at the World Juniors, I believe. 15's available. Or is that Joey Anderson's number? You can give Joey Anderson a. No, Joey Anderson's 22. So 15's available. 16's available now. 17's available. If 14 is your number and you can't have it, you know what number would look cool on him? 41. Flip him over.
Yeah, 41's not a first liner number.
Neither's 98 until Connor Bedard wore it.
Numbers in the 90s, you got to be able to carry it off.
I think 41 would look cool. It's unique.
All right.
To Jocelyn Thibault. Nicholas Jarmelson wore 41 when he was first called up.
Yeah. I actually have a Jocelyn Thibault. I have two Jocelyn Thibault McFarlands. I've got one that got broken, and then it got broken when I moved down here, and then I've got one still in the package. It's like my one still in the package McFarland, because I've got two Taveses, a Bobby Hull, a Stan Mikita, a Patrick Kane, and then Jocelyn Thibault. And the Thibault one I love because he's like drinking from his water bottle, and I kind of want to get a little plastic puck and stick it in the net.
I used to have that one somewhere. I think it got lost in one of the many moves over the years.
Right.
Johnson Thibault, one of the most underrated Blackhawk goalies of all time.
He was okay.
He was a good goalie on some really lousy teams.
Yeah, he got left hung out to dry a lot.
Yeah, good goalie, good dude too. All right, we have.
We're over time.
Yes, we have gone past regulation, gone past overtime, and nobody wants a shootout. So we're gonna let Al play us on home. This has been the Second Balcony with Greg and Frank. Thank you for checking us out subscribing, all that fun stuff. And we'll definitely let you know when we'll be back. Hopefully sooner rather than later with some Anton Frondell goal highlights to talk about. We'll see everybody then.